Hello. I have to change this view. I like to see myself. There I am. Hi, guys and gals, cats and dogs, guys and dolls. I hope you're all having a great day. I assume you can hear me by now. I think so. Um, Man, we have had a wild week, which is just normal. I don't even know why we talk about it anymore. Having crazy weeks, we have lots of them. So it's lovely to take some time to relax and chit chat a little bit with our folks in the Rose Group IX Leadership Group. A few announcements. Happy belated Veterans Day for any of you who are, in fact, veterans. Thank you for your service. For any of you who have veteran family members, thank them for us. And thank you for allowing them to do what they've done to support our country. Some other big exciting news. I'm really excited. Hey, Susan, we can hear you. Thank you. Shelly's always like, of course I can hear you. Just keep moving. And I'm like, no, but I don't know. So thanks, Susan. You can hear me. Some big exciting news we have that I think is actually going to be particularly interesting for this group. So when you watch the live, listen up. We are promoting a new product on our website called Helix Teams. This is the Helix Culture Type Assessment for 2 or more people. And through the end of the year, we're actually running a special on this. So if you buy 2 or more Helix assessments, you get 15% off for each assessment. You can do this through the Helix Teams product on the website. Shelly will be posting that somewhere so you know exactly how to get there. But this is a really great way, because we now have the Helix platform up, a really great way for you to see how the people on your team interact together. And then we also included an option where you can purchase additional, like an hour's worth of insight and coaching from Rachel or I, or Susan or Shelly or someone from our team. Probably Shelly. So we can really help you get your arms around what's going on with your teams. This is the reason we decided to do it now and run it as a special is because we've had a lot of smaller companies or teams within larger companies saying, gosh, several issues. I've got a remote workforce and I'm not sure how to engage them. I've got, oh, hey, Shelly, it looks like something, oh, you took it down. Okay. I've got a remote workforce and I'm not really sure how to motivate and engage them. Maybe I've got people that have to come back to work and don't want to, and I don't know how to engage them, or, the world is changing and everybody has kind of just finally caught up with the fact that there's not much we can do different about that. And so we're kind of relearning what our new environment's going to be like. So no matter what the situation is, we're hearing from a lot of folks on smaller teams and large teams alike that we need some help figuring out what people are thinking. Of course, our consulting is the way we help the bigger teams and bigger clients, but we wanted to be able to provide that solution for smaller clients too, who operate in different ways and at different price points. So Shelly's got it posted here. It's on our products page. It's called Helix Teams. And through the end of the year, you can buy Helix Teams for 2 or more people. You can get the extra hour of training if you choose. It's on a drop down, so you can pick it or not. And that gives you instant access, instant visibility into your team dynamics. So check that out. If you don't need it, share it with someone who does. They will love you for it. It's like an early Christmas present. Let's see. What does Shelly say? November is flying by, which is crazy true. And then the weather being weird, like half nice and half not nice. It's supposed to be maybe 60 or 70 next week in Rapid City. Crazy. And then it just was snowing. I know Rapid City got like 5 inches of snow last night. So that is making November feel really strange. Like I can't ever decide if it's November. Like I have a sweater on today, but then 2 days ago or a week ago, I had on a tank top. So bizarre. let's see, our new building is going to be going up pretty soon. I just had a community member ask me about that last night. When's your project going to be hitting the streets, so to speak? Should be going on pretty soon. We're waiting for all the I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed, so we can get started on that. Client engagements have been great and crazy and busy. This week I get the week off, not really because I did it on Monday and Tuesday, but a couple days off of really super early morning meetings. So that was fancy. Wedding, planning my wedding that we're going to have because I'm getting married. So that has taken up a little bit of time. And speaking engagements, I spoke this morning at the Win Breakfast. We spoke in Dallas not very long ago. And where else? Something else. Rachel spoke last weekend at a virtual event for South Dakota School of Mines. She speaking for some GIS fancy data drone, I don't know, some Rachel-y thing this weekend. So it's been crazy busy. It's been lots of fun. Oh, here it is. Rachel will be speaking on 11/18. That's next week. Make sure you register for GIS Day. It's a free event on the 18th of November. Shelly will post the registration link in the comments. We have a new podcast episode out. Our special guest was Jennifer. I just about said Elizabeth. What the hell? Jennifer Eggers. Jennifer is actually, we've done some work with her. She's fantastic. She was in Atlanta, Georgia. She just relocated to around Pittsburgh, I believe, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Does a lot of work around resilience, has a new book out about resilience and how to be resilient and what that really means. So check out the podcast. It'll give you all the details of the book. And so if you want to pick up that book, that would be a great read. Okay, weekly quote. In the sweet spot between accountability and empathy, IX leadership fosters a sense of camaraderie and pride that can't be bought or coerced. Staff becomes team, workers become people, and bosses become leaders. Man, that's really true. It's hard to know that that's true because it's really hard to find. Weekly writing prompt. What is one thing that you have learned about yourself that you didn't know a year ago? I would say one thing I've learned about myself in the last year is that I really actually have a higher tolerance for not controlling things as much as I want to. I have to practice really hard at it, but I'm getting better at letting things go for the most part sometimes, I think. I'm not sure if that's a story I'm telling myself, but I think I've gotten better at it. So I don't have the propensity to control things as much or have things be my way as much as I thought I needed them to be. What else? Learned about yourself that you didn't know a year ago. Well, I guess I didn't know a year ago I was going to get married this year. That's something. All right, IX leadership member questions. I accepted a new position with my dream company. What can I do to have a successful first 6 months with my new team members? Bribery is really important. Just kidding. But snacks are nice. Maybe not in COVID, not during Zoom times, but okay, I'm joking. Kind of. Really, I think the cool thing is about being part of a new team is really getting to know new people. I mean, and even if you're like me, I'm not a great networker. It's pretty uncomfortable for me to do that, but I do like to meet new people. If I have a chance to have a really sincere conversation with them. And it's just exciting to get to know stuff about people. And so I would say focus on that, getting to know people pretty well. Don't let the fact that you might not be next to them in person deter you from being successful in getting to know people. Use the Zoom, text messages. Voxer is a good one. Marco Polo, a lot of people use that to communicate. WhatsApp is good. So just getting to know people personally is a good way, I think, to connect with your team in the next 6 months. I think the other thing that's really important is knowing what your role is on the team, which just because you have a job description doesn't really mean you know what the expectations are and what your role is. So making sure you're clear about that with your supervisor, and then also making sure that the team is clear about what your role is, so you're on the same page. Because about the 6 month mark, sometimes you get to the 9 month mark, but about that point is when everybody's kind of looking around like, gosh, how come Meg isn't doing this part of her job? And what we find out quite often is, well, that Meg didn't know that that was part of her job, or that you expected her to do that thing, or what have you. So, having a conversation with your supervisor, with your teammates about what your role is and what you think you should be doing, and asking for their input is great. Also builds open communication and trust right away. Have your supervisor introduce you to the team. So this is something that's missed quite often. I've experienced this personally. Or if you got a promotion and no one in the company really knows it, that's pretty awkward when you start doing something different. So make sure that your supervisor, or someone in the company introduces you to the team, or if you've gotten a promotion, that they introduce the change. Very important thing. Okay. Next question. Due to COVID, our company, a large national corporation, put everyone on a pay freeze. Okay. Everyone is taking on more responsibilities and working more hours. I'm so proud of them. What are some other ways I can show my team appreciation and keep up morale? Shelly and I actually talked about this one a little bit this morning, and I think that if everyone truly is seeing pay freezes, so from the very top of the organization to the very bottom, the call to arms, we're all here together for a reason. We all care about you. You all care about the company. Let's keep caring together, is the best way to get through those pay freezes. If you have a pretty logical group of people, the other thing you can address is that, pay increases, cost of living adjustments, salary supplement adjustments are done on the basis of net profit. And if there is no net profit, or if net profit is reduced over the last year, then there just isn't the money for it. Those are kind of the best two messages you can have that are the most sincere and transparent. I find it's not good to blow smoke up people's skirts about that kind of stuff. I've seen companies who say, well, maybe like halfway through next year we can look at it, when in fact they might not have any intention of doing that, or know that that's not practical. Don't tell people things that probably aren't going to come true. I would say it's best to not even tell people things that might come true if you're not really sure, because that just breeds hope, built on fantasy, and that leads to mistrust. So resist the urge, you team-driven people, resist the urge to make a blow feel less harsh about, pay freezes or no pay increases, by making up something that, oh, but don't worry, it might get better. If that's not true, don't say the words. As far as keeping people engaged, keeping morale up, I think checking in with people pretty regularly, making sure they're doing okay, asking them questions, and also giving them special projects to work on. So even if, yes, they're doing extra work, maybe you can say, hey, since you were doing this project, which is sort of outside of what you normally do, could you, when you put your report together, include some pieces on, your thoughts on X, Y, and Z? Because I'd really like to know your perspective. Engaging people, creating buy-in by way of giving them special projects is a great way to keep people attached to the company, attached to the mission of the organization. You could also do sort of like weekly, you could do like a weekly scavenger hunt kind of thing. You can even do it virtually, where they have to go online and find something that represents to them a value of the organization or a piece of the mission of the organization, and then say why they think so. And you could do this just by the teams, not the whole organization. And that's a way to keep people involved. So just being clever about how to keep people engaged and involved, create buy-in, special projects kind of work, making sure that people feel valued. What is next? We hold weekly virtual team meetings. Our team has one management member that constantly talks over everyone during our meetings. Why are they doing this? How can I politely ask them to be more respectful? Their constant disruptions are making our meetings less productive. Anyone who knows me knows that past accountability, right after accountability, interrupting people or not interrupting people is really very top of my list. And that is my greatest pet peeve. When people interrupt each other, even if it's a brainstorming session and everybody wants to talk at once, it drives me bonkers. So, whoever asked this question and whoever you are that is an interrupter, knock it off. It's rude and disrespectful, and it means you don't actually care what other people are thinking about or what they have to say. Now, having said all that and scolding you, I used to be a pretty big interrupter because I thought that what I had to say was important, maybe more important than what everybody else had to say. So what I did to practice not interrupting was take notes. If I take notes while I'm talking to someone, it helps me not interrupt because a lot of times I found the reason I was doing it is I was afraid I was going to forget what I had to say, and I knew it would be an important part of the conversation. So if I took notes and wrote things down, then I wouldn't feel like I was going to forget them. And then I could actually a little bit better listen to people and what they had to say. Seems a little counterintuitive, but it actually works pretty good. If you need to ask someone else to stop interrupting, the way I like to do it, like at the beginning of a meeting, when before the meeting even starts, even if you don't have the authority to do so, like if you don't have the technical hierarchical authority, I like to just say, to groups of people, hey guys, we got a lot to cover in this meeting, and I need to be able to focus and hear every person's perspective. So if you could please refrain from interrupting each other, I'd really appreciate it. Because the other thing that's true on Zoom is when people interrupt each other, the data doesn't process well. So you actually can't, you miss things. Whereas if you're in person, you can your brain can kind of hear both people. But in Zoom, it literally stops. You can't. It doesn't compute. So you could just say, this technology is great because it allows us to still meet. However, it's not great in the sense that, I can't hear you if you both talk at once. So let's refrain from interrupting. If you have questions or thoughts, write them down so we can sort of take turns talking about that. Another thing, another reason interrupting happens a lot, if it's kind of rampant for one person or a whole group, is if there's no agenda, then people don't have any timeline or reason to respect other people's comments or thoughts. So maybe making an agenda, a more specific agenda for your meetings would be good. Okay, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, we're to my good favoriteest part, some good news. I don't have any, we're kind of ad hocing this today, so I don't have any. Hang on, I would make a some good news thing. Uh-oh. My skin's all dry and the pen won't work on it. There we go. Whoop, where's that? Some good news. Okay. So I actually am really excited that Shelly found this article because I saw this article earlier this week and this warms my little runner heart. So there is a gentleman, Chris Nikic. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his last name. He made history as the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman, and it was not without challenge. He crashed his bike or fell over on his bike and had some other issues, but he had a buddy and he did finish. Chris is 21 years old, and I think I'm going to say he's from Florida, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. Anyway, Shelly, I'm sure will post the good news article. It's on MSNBC or MSN. She was telling me that I didn't read this part in the article, but he overnight got 33,000 new followers in his social media. So I'm sure he is thrilled and feels like a rock star. Oops, sorry. A rock star and a superhero, and he is. So he should feel that way. So good job, Chris. We are all very proud of you here at Rose Group. That is incredible. I have not done an Ironman, nor do I care to because I'm not much for being in the water. So good for you. I'm going to just assume that you are swimming for me. Okay, I think that's all the big news that we have for today. And I hope you're all having a great, wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions about the Helix Teams, really good opportunity. We want to get so many people in Helix and see the good value of it. So if you have any questions about Helix Teams, please reach out to Shelly. She is an expert in all of our products online, and she can help answer any questions you have. If you want to test it out, or if you have questions about it, or what does it look like, she can get on a Zoom call with you and share it and go through what kind of questions you might have. So really excited about Helix and Helix Teams. Please, please, please take advantage of that special offer that's going on through the end of the year. And I think that's it until next year. Next year. No, not next year. Next week. Next week. So if you need us or have any questions, you know where to find us. If you want to invite people to the IX Leadership Facebook group, please do so. We're always happy to have new folks in the group. Have a great rest of your day. Lead powerfully. Change the world. Bye for now.